Hey there, welcome to Am I Tesla Guy? I'm Mike. Have you ever wondered what the process is like to get the windshield replaced on your Tesla? I mean, it's got those autopilot cameras and all sorts of other fancy things going on from a tech standpoint. I see this question asked a lot on online forums, and we actually need to get the windshield changed on our Model 3. So I thought I'd bring you along with me to walk through the process. As I mentioned, we need to get the windshield replaced on our Model 3. We have a 2020 Model 3 Standard Range Plus, now called the rear wheel drive model. And my wife actually caught a pretty sizable rock on the windshield probably a couple weeks ago now, and it didn't take long to start spreading, and we're now looking at probably a solid 10 to 12 inch crack in it. She wanted me to go ahead and get the windshield changed. It's covered under our insurance. So I am here currently at the Tesla Service Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Wonderful, wonderful service center. And I'm here to get the windshield changed. Now, this, of course, is going to be specific to Michigan. And in our case, we work with Hanover Insurance, which in Michigan actually goes by the name Citizens Insurance. So my experience is going to be specific to our location here in Michigan, which has its own unique insurance issues, and Hanover/Citizens Insurance. So let's get this thing fixed up, and I will share with you the experience and how it all works out.
Start it up.
All right, and here it is, shiny new windshield. There are two pieces of green tape you can probably notice there at the top of the windshield. The service technician said that those need to stay on there for 24 to 48 hours for the adhesive to completely cure. Rain and stuff like that will be fine, although there's none in the forecast. No high pressure stuff like car washes or anything like that. Let's take a look at the inside, and it looks like a clean windshield. I actually had on my car care schedule that I was supposed to clean the windshield on this car a couple days ago, and I thought, why would I clean the windshield when it's getting a whole new one? And total time, it took a little longer than I thought it would. I dropped it off at, I believe, 1:47 p.m. is when they officially checked it in, and did not get done till about 5:25 p.m. I brought a bunch of work with me, and I ended up working from the service center. I do have to tell you, they offered a loaner because they would keep it for the afternoon, and one of those loaners was a red Model X. I could have chosen between a red Model X or a Model X P100D, and in an exercise of incredible restraint on my part, I did not accept either of them because I had work I needed to get done. And I got the work done. He did say that the cameras will likely go through a calibration process. I asked him if that was the same as the autopilot camera calibration thing that you can do in the car yourself. And he said, no, it's actually different because they put the cameras and everything right back where they were before. They should still be fine. It's more of a fine tuning of the cameras, and they just learn, apparently. I can actually use autopilot already in the car. So what I'm gonna do is I actually have to get back home, so I need to stop recording, and I will pick up at a different time, and we'll actually walk through the details of what the cost was, how the insurance works. I will be back with you momentarily. Now I am to a place where I can talk through the details of the repair, but first I just want to say maybe there was camera calibration that was going on. I will say I did engage autopilot on my way home, and wow, yeah, it was off. It like went way over to the right side of the lane, and I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to wait for it to do whatever it's typically going to do. So I just went into the service menu and I did a camera calibration, cleared the calibration, and it was about 5 to 10 miles on the highway, and I had standard autopilot back. Now this car has full self-driving beta, and that is still calibrating. It's at 99%. So I just do want to point that out. My personal opinion as a non-Tesla service technician and not near the level of expertise they have is I would just clear the camera calibration, start from scratch, and then you don't have to worry about making you think that you have really good autopilot, and then you engage it and you're like, holy cow, this thing's been drinking a little too heavy. Now, before I actually get into the cost of the repair and how I have to coordinate it with insurance, I did just want to give you an idea of the process. To schedule this, I just went into the app, picked our Model 3, went to service, and schedule an appointment. I took some photos of the crack in the windshield. I described it as a small chip that by the next day was a 10 to 12 inch crack, and then it popped up with dates for me to be able to schedule the actual appointment. I did schedule that appointment, and it was about 2 to 3 days before the appointment where I got a message that they had to cancel the appointment and they rescheduled me for another day because the windshield would not be in yet. Now, that day that they rescheduled me for would not work for me. I had meetings all day. I was not going to be able to make it. And this is something that I've actually seen some confusion about, is that just because they reschedule you to that date does not mean you need to take that date. I was able to go back into the service menu and I was able to reschedule it myself, and I didn't have to reschedule after that. They had the windshield in and everything. And of course, you've been with me since the beginning of this video, and I went in today and got the windshield replaced. Now let's take a look at the actual cost to get this done. All right, I'm going to pop a copy of the invoice up on the screen right now, and as you can see, the total cost came out to be $998.85. But it is what it is. The breakdown of that was actually $762.60 for the parts themselves. I don't know what windshields typically cost, but that seems like a lot. And labor amount was $236.25. If it took a solid like almost 4 hours, I actually don't think that's a terribly bad labor rate. Total with tax came out to $1,044.61. At this point, you're probably thinking, man, Mike, did you pay that out of pocket? I did have to pay it out of pocket because in Michigan, at least, Tesla does not coordinate with the insurance. Maybe that's the same in other states. If you know, drop me a comment down below. I'm curious to know on that. So you have to pay for it, and then you have to seek reimbursement through your insurance company. Now, I have a fantastic insurance agent who's actually become a pretty good friend of mine. I gave him a heads up that I was going to be doing this, and he said no problem whatsoever. After you get it done, go ahead and send me the paid invoice, and he will take care of getting it submitted to insurance for reimbursement. And I think we have a $100 deductible on windshield, so we'll have to cover $100 of it. And insurance should cover the rest with no problems. If that ends up not being the case, I will make sure to maybe I'll pin a comment down below and make sure that that information is updated in this video. But I don't foresee any issues with that based on my conversation with my insurance agent. And now we've got a nice new windshield, and my wife will feel safer driving the car knowing that there's not a crack in the windshield. Well, there you have it. That was the total experience and the cost, and I think all the good stuff and the bad stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you've had an experience with a windshield repair that matches mine, is different than mine, whatever, please share it down in the comments below. I'm very happy that you joined me for this video. Thank you so much for watching it, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.